Hello students, in this video we will continue the menstrual cycle. Yes, as we discussed in the last video, menstrual cycle consists of four main stages, which are number one menstruation, follicular phase, ovulation, then last is luteal phase. Now you take the first one, that is menstrual phase, which is nothing but bleeding phase. So what happened exactly in this case? Normally in human female it lasts for hardly 3 to 5 days. That means minimum 3 days, maximum 5 days. So what happened exactly? At the time of this phase, the endometrial lining of the uterus wall getting ruptured and just getting out of the waste to blood along with mucus through the vagina, what we call it as menstrual phase. So the first phase is clear. That means the lining of the endometrium break down and getting out of the all the waste blood along with the mucus, what we call it as menstruation. Come to the second phase, follicular phase. So after the 5 days of the menstrual period, now the endometrial lining started just multiplying the cells and repairing the whole endometrial wall. That means proliferation stage. That means the particular area of the endometrial lining just getting developed like anything. So what we call it as proliferation phase. Also it is called follicular phase Y. That means one side endometrial lining is getting repaired, other side some of the many important events happening in the ovary. That means we call it as ovarian events. Ovarian events. So ovary, in the ovary the egg is getting developed or the follicles are getting developed. So that is highly influenced by the hormones of the pituitary gland. So you see the top of the chart, there are two hormones secreted by the pituitary gland which is taking care of the growth of the ovarian follicles inside. So there are two things are happening simultaneously. That's what is called follicular phase, also known as proliferation phase. Now the phase keep on going on till the middle of the cycle. That means 14th day. What happened exactly 14th day? You see that the well grown up the follicle. The well grown up the follicle is going to release the secondary oocyte. Secondary oocyte. This time you see very clearly that two hormones, that means hormones of pituitary FSH and LH, just going to the peak. When it's going to the particular peak, suddenly there is a huge amount of the hormone leads to breaking of the ovarian follicle, breaking up of the ovarian follicle and release the secondary oocyte as a process called what is a ovulation. Please very clear. The action of these two hormones increases like anything. The increased amount of these hormones break the grown up follicles, that means Gravian follicle or mature follicle, and release the secondary oocyte. So this process what we call this ovulation. Right? Now at the same time you see the hormone level of the ovarian follicle. That means what? The hormones of the ovary, what we call the estrogen, these are called the ovarian hormone. Estrogen. This level also increase during the ovulation period. Now we come to the third stage, that means luteal phase. Once egg is released, that means secondary oocyte is released, the empty follicle, what we call it as, previously it is an ovarian follicle. Once egg is released, now the empty follicle, what we call this, undergoes some changes to form the particular shape and size called the corpus luteum. The corpus luteum is a very, very important, which is producing the another hormone, what we call it as progesterone. The progesterone hormone produced by the corpus luteum, which is taking care of the growth of the endometrial lining. That means the fast growth. That means they grow very fully. That means they make a endometrial villi for the further process. That means suppose the released eggs fused with the male gametes, there is a formation of zygote. Now the zygote ultimately get into the endometrial wall as an implantation process and has to grow. That is the reason. So these phases, that means luteal phase, that means based on the amount of the hormone of the corpus luteum, that is progesterone, they grow very faster. Suppose if there is a fertilization, the fertilized won't get implanted in the uterus wall. If it is not happening, means the girl is not having the coitus. That means there is no meeting of female and male gametes in the oviduct. There is no fusion, no fertilization, no egg is fertilized. So that is the case what happened. The egg is denatured, released egg is denatured, whereas immediately due to the heavy, the corpus luteums are just getting, no use of making the progesterone. So automatically what happened? This leads to what? Next menstruation. That means what? The sudden entry of progesterone just start breaking the endometrial wall and automatically the second menstruation starts. These are the way. This whole cycle is repeated 28 days in human female. So that is a very important cycle. So here remember 4 stages, and uterine events, ovarian hormones levels, and ovarian events, and finally pituitary hormone levels. Please go through the NCERT textbooks very thoroughly. There is a beautiful diagram and understand better. So this is the way the menstrual cycle happens in the human female, right?